Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of the Tulsa King episode 1. So, Sylvester Stallone has tried to do the gangster role before and he's not really succeeded, but this time around, now he's in his mid 70s, he's absolutely nailed it. This, in my opinion, is the best gangster role he's ever done. He's done crap films like Oscar and Get Carter in the past, and there's a bit of a Get Carter vibe to him a little bit in this particular movie, but he's far superior in this than he was in Get Carter. This is actually very enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It has some comical elements to it, black comedy, of course, because it is about gangsters. But yeah, if you like stuff like The Sopranos, you like stuff like Weeds and Ozark and Sons of Anarchy. Imagine all of these different formulas all molding together, so to speak, as well as so many other things out there in the gangster world and in the narcotic world and all of that sort of stuff, organized crime, but done in the desert. Yeah, even Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. There's all these elements are in this. In this first episode, you see so many bits of it in this particular show, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to start getting to some proper spoilers right now, but Sylvester Stallone's character is a guy called Dwight Manfredi. He's just come out of jail and he feels like he deserves to have his dues be paid for, because he basically went to jail for a crime he didn't commit. He basically kept his mouth shut while his bosses basically got to live a life of Riley. He did 25 years for them, and now he's out. He wants to basically feel that he deserves something. And when he does meet his bosses, there's moments where you do feel like he's about to get whacked and stuff like that. But no, that doesn't happen. But his bosses basically tell him, okay, we're going to give you Tulsa in Oklahoma. And he's thinking, what the fuck? You're trying to banish me and all of that? And there's a little scuffle that, occurs amongst him and his fellow gangsterites and all of that. And you do see some familiar faces amongst all these people, like Vincent Piazza, who used to play Lucky Luciano in Boardwalk Empire. Yeah, he's in this. Max Casella, used to play Benny in Sopranos, and he's been a child actor as well. He's in this. Dominic Lombardozzi, probably not necessarily the most familiar name, but definitely a familiar face. He's in this as well. There's lots of people you all recognize who've been in the TV and film industry for many years, and they're reprising roles in this gangster series, which I guess their faces and their sort of like previous things they've done in acting kind of maybe makes them a natural fit for something like this. But once we do see Sylvester Stallone end up in Oklahoma, he's pretty much a fish out of water, but he gets straight into business. He befriends the first cab driver he comes across, makes this guy his personal driver. He then kind of shows this guy what it really means to be gangster, and the first place they go to is a weed dispensary. Now, I believe in Oklahoma, weed is legal in the medical sense, and he knows these people are making a lot of money, and he just immediately goes in there, intimidates, but with also lots of charisma as well. Shows the people in this place how tough he is. Realizes there's so many elements to this place that needs to be modernized. As far as he's concerned, there's no security cameras. There's only one security guy on the door who's an overweight lard. There's a couple. The people who work there are all stoners and pretty much wimps. He's just able to take over everything, but then obviously now it's his place. Now he then ends up wanting to make sure that nobody else fucks with it in the future. And this is the sort of thing he does as soon as he moves into town. He immediately just starts laying the groundwork, meeting people in bars as well, just getting to know the local neighborhood and all of that. Knowing the bartender, finding some familiarity, trying to befriend people as well. He's a bit of an enigma to some people as well, because he's very well dressed. He's got a mystery sort of Casanova vibe about him. He looks very good for his age, because he doesn't hide the fact that he's in his mid 70s. So when he does have a one night stand with this one particular lady, she can't believe she just fucked a pensioner. She thought he was in his 50s, and he take that as a compliment as well. But as I said, as he's basically setting up shop, he knows that eventually things are going to become very difficult for him. And we do see some of the sort of chess pieces starting to be put into place for the upcoming series as well. Some of the characters we've already met, what sort of role they're going to play later on in the show. Like the lady he had a one night stand with is actually a cop. So when she finds out, when she goes back to work and she finds out that the person she had a one night stand with is actually an ex-con gangster, she's like, what the fuck? and obviously Max Casella, he plays a guy who's probably hiding out in Oklahoma, and he sees Sylvester Stallone's character and thinks, shit, what the hell is this guy doing in Oklahoma? So yeah, we can see certain things come into play. And finally, of course, Vincent Piazza, who plays Vince Antonacci, he gets punched in the face, as you can see in this picture next to me, and you'll probably want some payback for that as well. So there's a whole bunch of shit going down with this new empire. That, as far as Manfredi's concerned, this is his place. He's gonna run this town. He's gonna own this place, and all of that. Oh, I mean, there's so many scenes I'm forgetting. Like the scene in the car showroom. He tells his driver, who's this black guy, to buy a nice, expensive, lovely car so that they can drive around in. He's unable to do that because the car showroom guy thinks he's a crackhead because he's got all this money. So Sylvester Stallone goes down there, pays the guy a visit, and fucks him up, and then not only gets the car on a discount, but gets the car fully loaded as well. It's just some great stuff. It's so funny, so enjoyable, so gangster. It's not so laugh out loud funny, but you just appreciate like this, this old guy who, by the way, also not necessarily up to date with technology and stuff as well. He's learning about apps, and like he made some comment about, wouldn't it be great if there was a place where we can get all this information from somewhere, not realizing that we have the fucking internet, and stuff like that. It's just all the irony of all of these things. It's absolutely hilarious. Just him having to come to terms, and also because he's been in jail for 25 years, he basically knew what the world was like prior to 9/11, but we live in a post 9/11 world now, and things are a lot more different, and he's just coming to terms with that very quickly. I mean, he's only spent a short time in New York, and now he's already in Oklahoma, and the people there are a lot different as well. They're a lot more religious out there. There's a very funny scene where this lady, he thinks he thinks he's about to pepper spray her, but he sprays her with fucking holy water because he mentioned that this grasshopper that landed on him is as big as his cock or something like that. It's just so good. It's so enjoyable. I don't think this is going to be very similar to The Sopranos, so to speak, but it's definitely going to be a nice rompers gangster flick. Will it ever get into like the sort of bloody detail of what a gangster show is? I don't know, because we haven't gone bloody yet. Yes, we've had a couple of broken noses, a few punches and stuff like that, but nobody's been executed yet. Nobody's been killed. No one's had their throat slit or anything like that, or concrete boots and swimming with the fishes or anything along those lines yet. It is the first episode. There probably will be time for that, so we'll see how that pans out. But we've got to meet a lot of characters: the people who work in the weed shop, the people who work in the bar, the lady had a one night stand with, some of the gangsters as well, his driver. All of these people are coming into play now, so I'm sure it'll be interesting to see how things pan out. I do believe we're going to probably meet some more characters in future episodes as well, so I look forward to that. But wow, what a great pilot, what a great opening episode. I'm going to give this, it's not often that sometimes the pilot episode is really good. Sometimes the pilot episode is not necessarily the best thing, but you just go through with the show hoping that it does improve. This pilot episode got me hooked from the very beginning, and for that reason alone, it's getting a 10. Absolute fucking 10. To make a really good opening episode, and you can't wait to see the other episodes. You're not feeling like you have to give the show a chance and maybe go for a few other episodes before things start getting good. No, this show was fantastic from the very get-go, and you're getting fucking Sly Stallone as well to go with it in a television series, something you never think you would do. Yeah, a fucking 10. Let me know what you think about this, The Tulsa King. Fantastic pilot episode. I can't wait for next week, and I'll probably start doing live reviews from next week as well. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you've never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.